Today, I am going to inform you about cybersecurity. You might ask, what is cybersecurity? Well, cybersecurity is how we protect networks, devices, and data against unauthorized digital access. We're going to discuss the importance of cybersecurity and provide actionable steps we should take to stay safe in our digital world. First, we will discuss what cyber threats we are vulnerable to. Second, we'll talk about the consequences of not being safe online. And lastly, we'll discuss some essential cybersecurity practices. In today's interconnected world, our lives are increasingly entangled with the digital world. We communicate through online messaging apps, we shop online, we entertain online, we game online, and we date online. And with all these activities, we entrust our most sensitive information to digital platforms. However, with the convenience of these activities comes vulnerabilities. Cybersecurity and cyber attacks have become more sophisticated, posing serious threats to our personal and professional lives. I stand before you to shed light on the critical importance of cybersecurity and provide actionable steps to fortify our digital defenses. First, what cyber threats are we vulnerable to? Cyber threats comes in various forms, from phishing emails, ransomware attacks, data breaches, and identity theft. According to the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the frequency and severity of cyber attacks have surged, costing businesses and individuals billions of dollars annually. For example, according to the NHA, the Nebraska Hospital Association, Change Healthcare was hit by a ransomware attack on February 21st, 2024, by a hacking group known as Alpha V or Black Hat, taking healthcare systems offline. Well, what is ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts data on a victim's system, making it inaccessible until a ransom is paid. Services like insurance verification, prior authorization, patient billing were affected, impacting the operations of most Nebraska hospitals, to the point where the FBI and the Department of Human and Health Services had to get involved. Secondly, now that we know about cyber threats, we're going to discuss the consequences of cybersecurity breaches. The repercussions of cybersecurity breaches extend far beyond financial loss. They can erode trust, tarnish reputations, and disrupt critical business infrastructure. For instance, in the case of the ransomware attack mentioned earlier, a veteran cybersecurity professor at Metro Community College, Gary Sparks, mentioned if they could get a hold of patients' records that are being treated for something like drugs or alcohol, they can use that information to blackmail a patient that is either wealthy or part of a prestigious organization. And they will try to use that information to extort the individual or the organization. Now that we understand the cost of cyber attacks, we'll talk about essential cybersecurity practices. So lastly, some of the essential cybersecurity practices are using a strong and unique password, in addition to using a password manager to secure and store passwords to prevent unauthorized access. There's also multi-factor or two-factor authentication, which adds an extra layer of authentication which significantly enhances security by requiring users to verify their identity through a second factor such as mobile device or a biometric scan. Also, by keeping up with our devices and software updates, we can ensure that known vulnerabilities are being patched, reducing the risk of exploitation by cyber criminals. Staying vigilant against phishing, educating ourselves and our colleagues and families about phishing tactics, and exercising caution when interacting with suspicious emails or links can prevent us from falling victim to phishing scams. And the last cybersecurity practice is data encryption. And by encrypting sensitive data both in transit and at rest, it safeguards from unauthorized access, adding additional barrier against cyber threats. So in conclusion, today we talked about why and how we can stay safe in our digital world. And this requires some effort, including staying vigilant against phishing attacks and the continuous adaptation of evolving cyber threats. In this digital age, our security, it's only as strong as our weakest link. Staying informed about common cyber threats and best practices to reduce the risk of falling victim to cyber attacks and protecting our personal and sensitive information. So I hope the next time you hear about a cyber attack, you think of ways to implement practices that we discussed today to help you stay safe on the internet.